Welcome to At Ease with Cooking. I'm Bonnie Kerschke, your host. This evening we're going to reminisce and take a trip down memory lane for our 5th year anniversary show and share with you some of the highlights of our programs during the past 5 years. Personally, I can hardly believe how quickly those 5 years have passed. We were pretty primitive back then. Sparse set, limited equipment, no overhead mirror. But what we lacked in set and equipment, we more than made up for in enthusiasm and excitement for a show that would feature local community residents preparing their favorite or specialty recipes. It really seems like only yesterday that we produced that first At Ease with Cooking show. Now, if you've been with us from the beginning, you know the show that started it all. If not, it's titled Spinach Salads. Let's take a look at an excerpt from it now. I'm going to prepare this salad on a luncheon plate as if you were going to serve this to your very dearest friends at a lovely bridge game or at a luncheon. And I'm going to take about a quarter of the green leaf lettuce and the spinach leaves, and I'm going to mix that up. And remember, here again, this salad will serve four. There we have a couple of different shades of green with the lettuce. Then we're going to put about a quarter of the avocado slices. This is truly a colorful salad and one that I guarantee is going to bring you raves. I've never served this salad where people didn't just think it was wonderful. And then we're going to use about a quarter of our strawberry slices, and as you can see, the color is coming through there so pretty. Then we're going to put the papaya the papaya slices, about a quarter of those. And then about a quarter of the coarsely chopped pecans. Here again you've got that just super color, which is so pleasing to the eye as well as to the palate. And then last, I'm going to shake up our papaya seed dressing and sprinkle a little of that on. Here again, I wouldn't overdo it. Put the salad dressing on the table and let your guests add more. What we're going to do now is we're going to show how you would serve this nice luncheon salad for your friends. Going to place it here in a place setting, and we've chosen to serve it with a muffin and some, instead of butter, some of that wonderful strawberry whipped cream cheese. Another early show of ours featured meat cutter John King, who has remained with us over these 5 years with periodic demonstrations on meat cutting tips, guaranteed to give you new ideas and save you money. Here's Johnny.
Now, the problem is with some when they get it home and they bake it, is they have difficulty in carving. Well, I'm going to assume, right now all of us will assume that this ham has been cooked already, and it looked pretty much like the picture we saw earlier with the pineapple and cherries.
Yes.
And all. That was excellent a way to glaze the ham. But now, just watch closely. We have a round bone here, and this is where she comes out at the other end down here. So if you just take your knife at home, just kind of run it right along this bone here. And just go straight on through. I would just lay this on the side here momentarily, all right?
Okay.
Now,
Ooh,
there we
what
are.
a beautiful.
And now what you got is a boneless ham to slice. And you got a nice portion there. You got about a 5-pound boneless piece of ham. And this can be utilized yet, which we'll talk about. But now, don't start right away carving it full slices like this. That's rather difficult to get across. Why not do it this way? Why not take the ham,
Now this is after you've baked it.
after you baked it, right, and cut it right in half like this here. Set one on the side, one here, and then proceed from there, start carving your ham.
Oh, and yes, that's a much more manageable piece of ham for the individual to take up on their plate.
You would have your carving fork here, of course, and slice on down. But let's look at this another way right now. Let's just assume it wasn't cooked, and we still broke it down this way. What you could do is you could freeze one ham portion. And by the way, in freezing ham, you want to go, probably no longer than 3 months. And the reason for that is not that anything would be wrong with it after that, but it keeps its flavor up to 3 months. And right.
And,
So-
and you would package that in that white type of what they call butcher's paper and seal it, or is there another way to?
No, I would do it right with the freezer,
freezer
regular
paper.
freezer paper.
Okay.
So here already, what you've gotten is you got a boneless piece of ham for another dinner for 3 or 4 years, and this one you can cook right now. Or, if you'd like to, if you just happen to be the type of person who likes that, breakfast ham slices. Why not just continue slicing on down? And then take these here, and there you have breakfast ham slices. And if you want to compare the prices of boneless ham slices and center cut ham slices to the price of this ham, you'll see again, you've upgraded it easily 70 to 80 cents a pound, with no problem at all.
Wonderful, great saving.
One of the more popular topics on At Ease with Cooking has been recipes for appetizers and hors d'oeuvres. Over the years, we've produced 5 different programs devoted entirely to this topic. Take a look at some of those tasty morsels.
Okay, now we've got our chips all spread out in a single layer. We'll simply take our tuna now, or our salmon. See, now I'm stuck on this too. In the salmon, we've got some spices in there. We've got a little bit of thyme, about a teaspoon, and some cracked pepper, and also about a capful of lemon juice. And then I just mixed it all up together, so that's what's in there. Then we just simply, with your fingers, hopefully you're clean when you do this, wash your hands first, you just spread it around evenly.
Now, you mentioned to me, too, that for a larger group, you do it on a big cookie sheet?
Yes, now, again, it goes to the way you're going to cook it and how many people you have to feed. I'll use a whole bag of chips and do it on a cookie sheet if I do have a larger group or company or whatever.
Great, because then that is enough for everybody to have a sample
Right,
or
it's
two.
versatile. You bet. That's a versatile recipe. So we've spread all that around, and as you can see, I'm kind of haphazard about it. I don't believe in doing things so that it's very, what do I want to say?
Concentrated just on
yeah.
one little
You
chip,
bet.
right?
So we don't worry about that.
Works so much quicker.
Okay. Now we're going to, oops, let's wait a second. Let's put some of our other ingredients here. This is our kohlrabi. We just spread this on. As you can see, it doesn't take very long. Then we've got some green onions. I like these for color, as you can see.
Yes.
I use the whole thing.
The white
Some
as
people
well as the
don't,
green,
right,
yes.
some people don't use the whole thing, but I do. Now, I happen to love olives, so I put both kinds on. And as you can see, look at the color.
Yes, beautiful.
And the
Absolutely
nice thing
beautiful.
about these Mexican dishes, it's such a faddish thing now, too. So
Yes,
you'll always be up on the times with
right.
a dish like that, and it's so colorful and festive for summertime. Okay? And then last, for your heated items, you put your cheese on last. So it kind of holds everything on there together.
Oh, wonderful.
And see, I'm pretty liberal with that. All over. Okay. And then once we get to that point, we'll put it in the oven.
Okay, I'll take this away and you can
And-
show us one that you've already prepared.
Yes.
And see
And that's
how
what it looks like when it comes out.
Beautiful it looks.
Okay, and then lastly, as a garnish, you can grab those chopped tomatoes, just spread them around. Look at the color.
Yes, more beautiful color coming through. That red really adds.
And then if it's real hot, I'll put the shredded lettuce on just for something cool. So you can see how that works.
Beautiful.
All right, so this is fast and fancy, and I'll tell you, I wish you could taste it out there.
Yes, and we're going to enjoy tasting it a little bit later.
Every year during the holidays, we've gone all out producing Thanksgiving and Christmas programs. From what to do with your leftover turkey to traditional holiday dinners and buffets. From holiday cookie recipes and information on how to organize a cookie exchange to those fabulous holiday desserts and steamed puddings. All in all, we've produced 15 holiday-related programs. Let's take a look at a few highlights from those festive shows. Well, we're back with all of the elegant recipes we've prepared this evening. We also have a beautiful, elegant table setting, and one of the things we really like to point out to you is a little ornament that we've used as a place card holder. We've put them at each one of the settings, and they'll be able to be taken home by the guest who happens to be sitting there. It'll be a nice remembrance for them. Now, just to recap everything that we've prepared, we have our mock liver pate, we have our bib and romaine lettuce salad, we have our chicken Wellington with mushroom wine sauce, and we have our rice pilaf, our vegetable medley, and we have our Christmas cake with our butter sauce. Gals, everything just looks so magnificent. I can hardly wait to taste it. Thanks so much for appearing on the program and sharing your recipes with us. We really appreciate it.
On occasion, we've featured some local chefs and experts demonstrating everything from gourmet appetizers, jumbo shrimp, reduced fat and whole foods cooking, to cake decorating and the preparation of those wonderfully sinful chocolate truffles. Better watch your waistline when you watch these clips.
There's two different ways that you can dip. You can dip with your hands or with a fork. This doesn't look like a fork, but it is what they call a fork. There's multitudes of kinds that you can dip with. Okay. This happens to be my favorite because you can carry chocolate in it. Okay? You have to keep in mind you have warm chocolate here and cool chocolate here. And if you leave this in here too long, you'll start melting your truffle in your coating.
Oh,
Okay?
all right.
So, and I also have very hot hands, so you want to remember that your hands are hot, your coating is hot, and your truffle is cool.
Sure.
Okay, so the trick here is to throw it in, scoop a little chocolate over it, tap it just a bit to get the excess off, scrape the bottom of the fork, and then come to the outside of your paper, and then touch it to bring a little design.
Beautiful.
You want to remember to come to the outside, because if you start here, you're going to be dripping.
Yes, that's a wonderful tip.
So let's do up a couple
And
of
once you
these.
get a kind of a production line going, you can really do that very quickly. Oh, how beautiful.
When you dip chocolates, what you want to watch is this little foot on the bottom. You want to try not to get too much of a foot.
Okay.
We have a couple different ways that we can decorate the tops of the truffles. These are ground almonds, so if you want to sprinkle a few on there while it's wet. And
Just
then
on the very top.
And then on the next one, these are chocolate sprills. These are real chocolate sprills as opposed to just regular sugar ones. If you bite into a sugar sprill, it crunches, where if you bite into these, it just melts.
This is a very different leaf tip. This is a 352, and I would suggest to your viewers that this would be the thing to use for leaves.
All right.
Leaves are also great for covering up errors. So any mistake that's made, make it covered up with a leaf.
Oh, how pretty.
Now leaves can be made in every direction. You can stand them up, and I'll stand one up over here if you can see.